What's up everyone? My name is Itssbbz and I'm getting my E3 2017 on. So Microsoft is the second company to head up to the stage, and they actually rocked the roof off their concert hall. They announced so many things that the words exclusive and world premiere, they're still fucking ringing in my ears. So I won't be able to talk about every little thing that Microsoft said during the event, but I'll cover everything that actually caught my attention. If there's anything you guys thought I missed, or if there's anything that you guys want to talk about the press conference, please tell me in the comment section below. So let's see how Microsoft started their event off.
This is the 2017 Xbox E3 briefing.
Starting things off with a montage of the evolution of resolution. See what I did there? Anyways, moving on to a showcase of a bunch of their IPs. For example, showcasing a really cool close-up shot of the Lancer from Gears of War. I actually really like that one. I've always loved that weapon.
Ladies and gentlemen, the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer enters the stage and he starts talking about the Xbox brands as he always does. And just as I was about to reach for my phone to kind of ignore his speech that I've heard for the last couple of years, he actually started talking about the future of Xbox, and more specifically, Project Scorpio. So he started everything off strong, unveiling the name of the new console, the Xbox One X. And I don't know about you guys, but I actually haven't decided on that name yet. Xbox One X. It's a lot of X's, and I mean, if I were to shorten this and like in chat or something to a friend, I would definitely go with the XXX direction. Phil Spencer kept things moving by handing the stage over to Kareem Chowdhury, the head of software engineering over at the Xbox. And Kareem didn't take any time to wait or anything, he just unveiled the specs of the Xbox One X like instantly. Now, this machine is a real powerhouse. I'm not gonna go into the nitty gritty, but like, let's say it like this. The PlayStation has 4.1 teraflops of GPU power. The Xbox One X has 6 teraflops of GPU power. Now, that is actually a big step forward. This machine has 4K capabilities, it's HDR and all that good stuff, but like, that's old news. Like, the thing that actually got me going was this machine is actually liquid cooled.
For the first time ever on a console, we're using a liquid-cooled vapor chamber, normally reserved for servers and high-end PC cards.
Now, how cool is that? A console that is liquid cool. I've never heard of this except for like in the modding community, and this I think is really cool. Now, Kareem went on talking about how the Xbox One X will make games look better and how they actually built the whole machine. And then he actually got on to tell us the size of the machine, and he actually told us that this will be the smallest Xbox that they've ever built. And if you ask me, this is actually a good thing, because if you take a look in my console cabinet over there, it's actually getting kind of crowded. To brag about the graphical capabilities of the new Xbox One X, Kareem ended his little speech about the machine by showing off a new trailer for the new Forza 7. Now, I didn't even know they were making a Forza 7, I thought Forza 6 just came out, but yeah, cool and all.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the 2018 Porsche 911 GT2 RS.
They actually even unveiled a whole new Porsche on stage, and I was not caring about that because this is not gaming. Get on with it. So I got what I was asking for. Metro is back, and this trailer hit me out of nowhere. I didn't even know they were making a new Metro game, so I was really surprised. Anyways, the trailer started off in an underground tunnel system where in first-person view, a character struggles to get through a hordes of mutants, and just as you actually thought the trailer was gonna end, as he's gonna open a door, it actually unveils like a huge open world, beautiful area with like a town and some bushes and everything there. And it actually, the trailer goes on from there to some more mutant shooting, and then it ends up by some train where the guy keeps running along the train and some girl hands out her hand and helps him up on the train, and everything looked just fantastic. You mean, when I go rambling like that, something is good. So I'm a huge fan of the earlier Metro games, and I'm definitely keeping my eye out on this one. And the earlier Metro games have all been released on PC, so I'm definitely getting it on my PC. The event continued with the world premiere trailer of Assassin's Creed Origins. The game looks like it's set in Egypt, with showing off some really cool gladiatorial scenes, and everything actually looked really cool. And after this, a Ubisoft employee actually got on stage to talk about the new game, and it was actually just a brief speech about the past of Assassin's Creed and all that, ending his whole speech with the gameplay trailer of the Assassin's Creed Origins. Now, this trailer actually looked really cool with some like Breath of the Wild, slow motion bow shooting, and some really cool Dark Souls looking, like dodging the attacks of other enemies and shit. There even was a shield. The assassin even carried a shield in some moments of the gameplay. I actually am very intrigued by this. Now, I know the Assassin's Creed name has been pretty tarnished recently with the release of like Unity and a couple of other titles being like subpar. So I don't know. I'll actually have to see more of this game, but so far they have actually got me intrigued into it. So I'll wait until I see more. They followed this announcement up with a bunch of trailers for both brand new and already known titles. For example, State of Decay 2, which actually had a really cool trailer. If you like zombie survival games, you should most definitely check this one out. Personally, I think this whole zombie survival genre is getting a little flooded, but I'll actually be keeping my eye on State of Decay 2. Anyways, nothing really stood out amongst all these trailers until now, when they played this trailer, my jaw hit the fucking floor. Some of you out there might know that I fucking adore pixel art, and this game has some incredible pixel art. There's like different layers of pixel art and you can move between them, and the gameplay was like very reminiscent of games like Another World or Flashback or stuff like that on the SNES. And this game, it really got me going. I'm very intrigued to see more of this. A Souls-like game with Final Fantasy looking characters? You got my attention. Now, not much was shown about Code Vein except some really nice paced combat and some really good looking graphics, but what little they've shown so far, they got my attention, and I can't wait to see more about this game. So next up, Xbox unveiled a brand new trailer for Rare's upcoming title, Sea of Thieves. Arr! Now, This trailer was actually pretty awesome. It was very lengthy, showing off a bunch of different gameplay mechanics of the game and different scenarios of the game. For example, they started out underwater trying to find some treasure on a sunken ship. Moving on top of the ship and going to an island to like look for a dug down treasure with very specific clues, and I actually really liked everything there, showing off more combat where they shot a bunch of skeletons, and ending the trailer with some ship battles where they actually launch the main character all the way to the enemy ship where you do some cutlass fighting, and it was all pretty fucking good. I really liked what I saw, and if this game is getting a PC release, I will most definitely get my friends together and see whatever shenanigans this game will offer. So apparently Xbox is trying to fill the void of non-Nintendo 3D platformers in the gaming market with Super Lucky's Tale, a 3D platformer that looks like if Rare humped a Care Bear. It's super colorful, it's super pretty, and it's just a tad too childish for me. But this does not actually have to be a bad thing. I work in gaming sales, and trying to find games for like the younger audience actually gets harder and harder. It's like, all there is Lego and Skylanders, and that is pretty much it. So this looks like a game that even like the youngest audience can play, and this is actually a great thing, because right there is a little bit of a void in the gaming sphere. At this point, Xbox was throwing trailer after us, and nothing really stick until a trailer for a game called Ashens. And the reason I actually stopped and watched this trailer, because this game actually looked a little bit like it had Soul-like combat, and at that point I started to worry a little bit, because there have been many games that actually use that kind of combat, and I don't want that particular field to be flooded. I mean, there's been a lot of games trying to do that combat, and if you don't do that correctly, it takes precision, it takes knowing exactly what you're doing to do a good Dark Souls-like game, so I'm getting a little worried. Finally, a gameplay trailer for Shadows of War, the sequel to Shadows of Mordor, a game that was so praised for its incredible combat system and its nemesis system that was way cooler than anything I've seen in a game before. Basically, you could like take over enemy generals and take them to your side and basically have an army behind you. The original's game mechanics and nemesis system was so good that no one even bothered to talk about how crap the story was. Now, it looks like they're taking everything they made in the original and they're building upon it with Shadows of War, and this is a really good thing. If they only get the story right in this one, this will easily be a candidate for my game of the year. Phil Spencer returns to the stage to talk about backwards compatibility, and after bragging about how many of the 360 games now actually work on the Xbox One hardware, Phil makes a huge announcement. Xbox One is getting support for the original Xbox games. Yup, that's the fucking machine with the humongous fucking controller. And I think this is a superb thing, because I'm not really an Xbox collector, but I still have games from all the eras, and if I can play all of them on one machine, that is huge in my world. Bidding one last farewell to the crowd, Phil Spencer welcomes Patrick Sutherland onto the stage. That's the guy from the EA press conference. And Patrick starts a brief speech about the partnership between Microsoft and EA, and after his brief speech, they ended the whole event by unveiling the premiere gameplay trailer for BioWare's new IP, Anthem. Okay, wow, this game looks pretty damn incredible. A Destiny-like game set in a beautiful world with totally incredible environments, fast-paced combat, some gear progression, and probably the coolest way of transportation ever. I mean, okay, just check this out. How freaking cool is that? I mean, they really got me interested in this game, but I mean, with BioWare's Saudi record at the moment, with Mass Effect 4 failing and all that shit before that, I need to see more before I decide. So they absolutely have me intrigued, but I need to see more. Alrighty, so Xbox is done and over with, and I actually thought they did a pretty good job with this press conference. They absolutely went for quantity over quality, but there were actually a couple of pretty cool games in there, so I'm pretty happy with this one. At the moment, I think Sony is kind of riding high on having the best exclusive around, but right now Microsoft is giving them a challenge for the lead. Anyways, after this, Bethesda actually had their press conference, and I watched it, and I was left very unimpressed. So I decided I will not cover that whole event, and instead I will make a video after all the events where I do all the honorable mentions that didn't get into any of the videos for some particular reason. For example, being on a press conference that I didn't cover, or just being announced outside of press conferences. So keep your eyes out for that one. It will come a little bit later after all the press conference videos. So that is it for today. I will need some sleep before Sony tomorrow, and I really hope they actually bring something to the table, because so far it's been pretty fun to watch the press conferences, and I hope Sony will keep that up. I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out.